Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ghost Reaper Girl. This one's by the author of Rosario plus Vampires, so I'm not too sure what I'm getting myself into, but it's got ghosts and it's got a girl with a big, huge scythe, and I don't know, that's just kind of an aesthetic I like. I even kind of did it in the book that I wrote. But anyway, we're going to check this one out and see what it's like. I'm going to read the first couple of chapters. I'm going to film myself while I do it so you can see my thoughts and live reactions as I go. But don't worry, I'll cut out the boring bits where I just stare at the screen all like as I read. All right, cool. Let's see what this is all about. And here's our main character, Chloe Love. I'm sorry, man. That name, it's either immediately all I think of is bubblegum pop singer or porn actress. I know those are completely opposite scales, but I don't make the rules. They just live rent free in my head. My best quality is my cheerfulness. I'm 28 years old. My hobbies are, hold on, 28? Your resume says 20. That she might have fudged it a bit. Okay, so now the guy that she's interviewing, she's a struggling actress and trying to get a part in a movie. And I'm already getting some red flags because the producer's talking about how she looks so much younger than what she actually is age-wise. Oh, you know where that's going in manga a lot of the time. Oh, so she was actually in a TV show. She was the lead of a horror action show called Ghost Reaper Girl. She played a girl wearing a school swimsuit covered in blood who used scythes. It was a little too niche and didn't do too well, though. I don't know. I mean, I'm literally reading the manga right now. I don't know how niche that is, but... And... there's that. Yeah. So ghosts wanting it inside her body because it's just she has such a powerful flow of soul. And our girl ain't taking it. Oof. Enter the male lead, who's immediately a lolicon. Great. Oof. Oh, and apparently she's his idol. He actually knows who she is. In the middle of the ghost attack, let's take a selfie. I'm thinking the lolicon is going to be an ongoing thing in this series. He's Kai Iod? IOD? Yod? Come from the realm of Hades. Okay. Like, I'll definitely say the art is really well done. Like, the amount of detail and everything, it's really good. Oh my gosh, he's her actual scythe. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get over the goofy face on the scythe. Okay, so chapter 1, really straight ahead. The story, follows pretty much everything that we've seen before in terms of magical girls. Heck, even Bleach I think did the same thing. So basically we meet our main character in the real world, their normal life. I mean, it's kind of hero's journey basic, right? See the character in their everyday life. They then get involved in whatever the situation is that's going to be sort of the main conflict of the series, in this case ghosts that have broken out of Hades and are fleeing to the world and trying to possess bodies and stuff like that. Main character is offered help by whatever, whether it be something cute and fluffy like we see in a lot of magical girls, whether it be this dude, whatever. They take that power, they fight the battle that technically an average person should not have won, and we find out that they have a special ability, or they have the potential to be great or whatever. So, I mean, Chapter one's pretty standard. It's not awful, honestly. I'm curious to see, like, I'm going to read a couple more because I'm curious to see what happens from this point, because that's where, like, the story actually is going to start taking shape, right? Because right now it's, like I said, like, that's virtually a paint by numbers. I mean, my God, even the whole point where he needs to possess her because since he's a spirit, he needs a human host to be more powerful in the physical realm. The fact he's actually literally a dude becomes her weapon. I mean, Soul Eater did that years ago, and I'm sure even Soul Eater wasn't the first one. So, like I said, first chapter, it was okay. Artwork, pretty good actually. The artwork's actually really good. There's lots of great detail and everything else, but the story is pretty standard. So let's see what the rest of this has in store for us. Okay, so chapter 2. Monster of the week, but his main issue makes Chloe feel sympathy for him. And so instead of destroying him, she seeks to set him free. And now we've got two dudes that both want to be Chloe's familiar. So is this going to be a reverse harem, or like what's the deal? I'm still not, like, after 2 chapters, I'm still not sure where this series is really going, other than just being, yeah. And I mean, it's a weird mix of comedy, horror, and action. It's not even really horror, but it's weird. Like, I don't know that this thing's found a groove. I mean, it's only 2 chapters. It's not even a single volume yet. But gonna keep going. Let's see what chapter 3 has in store. See if we build the harem even further, or exactly where this goes. Even she calls out that, what is this, a harem video game? I do enjoy when manga can be self-aware. Okay, so there's a twist. After Kai built up how powerful she was and yada yada, and now she goes to register with the actual ghost extermination, and they're arresting her because they're saying she's super dangerous. Okay, so chapter 3 introduces us to the Arkham. I keep thinking Arkham Asylum, I can't even, but anyway. It's basically the Ghost Hunting Society. They wanted to arrest Chloe because she actually got uploaded on the internet, her fight in the subway in the first chapter. This chapter's maybe a little bit better just because it's finally starting to do a little bit of world building, and it's not just, you know, monster of the week and let's build the harem. I also appreciate the fact that, like, you know, like I said, I appreciate the fact that there's some self-awareness in this about the whole harem building, but let's see what chapter 4 is like and see where we go from here. Okay, so okay, I see you, Ghost Reaper girl. So basically, depending on the spirit that she forms a contract with, she can upgrade to different forms, it looks like. Interesting. Okay. So that does suggest to me that this is going to be some kind of harem, but alright, let's, you know what, let's move on to chapter 5 and see what chapter 5 holds. I don't know how many are in each volume so far. I guess I should look into that. I'm reading this on the Shonen Jump app, so I just get to read, like, the chapters. But yeah, okay, all right. And like this is a little darker than what I thought. Like, it is starting to get a little bit better with this chapter. Like, it's interesting that Arkham is not I expected it to be like this very sort of like supportive, like there's been some very stereotypical ideas of these ghost hunting or enforcement agencies in the afterlife. I've seen quite a few like Korean live action shows that have that kind of thing, and it always comes across as being pretty like bureaucratic, and it always seems like they're somewhat supportive, but this is a lot darker and more violent. So let's take a look and see what chapter 5 is like. And chapter 5 was just a big battle. I mean, this thing seems to shift very quickly between like the action and then just goofy and a little bit more serious. It's not bad though. Yeah, like I mean, so far it's not bad, and you know, even though I know the Rosario plus vampire anime was quite ishy, but I haven't really seen that in this, which is good. I must admit, I know I said it back in chapter 1, but man, red flags when they pull the whole, I look really, really young, but actually I'm much older. Yeah. Anyway, let's see what chapter 6 is all about. Of course they use smartphones and there's apps on the smartphone. And now they're introducing that there's a leveling up system depending on how powerful a ghost you kill. Like, but again, enough awareness. Are we talking about a video game here? So it looks like with the end of chapter 8, we kind of come to the end of midway through volume number 2 of this series, or give or take a little bit. So it's not bad, to be honest. It's certainly got some really good action artwork in it that I've been probably showing on the screen as we go. It's kind of weird to record this while I'm reading, knowing that I'm going to edit it and not knowing what I'll show and what I'll not show. It's anyway. So obviously, like I said, very generic opening. The first volume, very generic overall. Getting a little bit better with the introduction of Arkham Bullet, and then now this in chapter 8, they're revealing that Arkham Bullet doesn't even have rules that their agents can't fight each other. That it seems to be a very disorganized and loosely organized organization. Like, I do appreciate the character of Chloe. She is kind of a decent blend of being nice, but also pretty temperamental, quick to anger. I do enjoy what he's done with the artwork at certain points, where just the looks on Chloe's face, the look in her eye and stuff, there's that shift from sort of the nice girl to the more serious, getting ready for battle. Like, there's some really good artwork in this. I kind of feel at this point that the story is still maybe a little bit on that generic monster of the week side. I'm kind of waiting to see if there's a bigger story involved in this. And I think that's maybe the point where you decide whether the book is decent or not. Overall, it's not bad. I mean, really, like, it's kind of like a Magical Girl series almost. Just that the whole, like, she transforms, she can change into different forms depending on which goat familiar she merges with. She has different power sets depending on that. So she can face different types of monsters. I'm assuming there will probably be other familiars as the series goes on. Right now it's only the 2. So like I said, it's not bad. It's actually, I'd say, probably better than I expected. I really thought, especially going into the first chapter, reading the whole, like, how many times they mentioned, like, Kai being a lolicon, how many times they mentioned how young she appeared for her age. I kind of expected that this was going to be much more of an Ishii type manga that was going to ride a lot more on the fan service side than actually trying to have, like, a decent story or decent battles or decent characters. And I'm pleasantly surprised that it actually has some really good action sequences. The artwork is really well done. The characters are developing. Like I said, Chloe is developing like as sort of a multifaceted character, which is nice. And really, there hasn't been anything all that ishy. Uh, Very typical magical girl, slight more curves revealed when she transforms thing, but nothing that is offensive. And even having Chloe call out like the sexual harassment that goes on in the entertainment industry in the first book, where, the first chapter where she fights the producer of the film that she's trying to get into, and them talking about the ideas of like consent and stuff. Like it's yeah, I mean, like I said, it's not bad. It does feel a little generic. It does feel like the story hasn't really done anything all that super interesting as of yet. And there aren't as many, I'd say, really interesting characters. I mean, we're just introduced in this chapter to a couple of other ones. So I think overall, Ghost Reaper Girl, it's not bad. If you're really into the like supernatural, paranormal, action, shonen type stuff, and blended with that little bit of magical girl element, it's not bad actually. It's pretty decent. In fact, you know what? I will probably at a later date read some more and check out to see what the rest of the story holds. So those are my thoughts on the first 8 chapters of Ghost Reaper Girl. Check it out. You can read it on the Shonen Jump app, or there are, of course, volumes available for sale in English. Let me know what you think of the format of this video. I wanted to try and do something a little bit different where it was more of a kind of combining the live reaction of playing a game with manga reading, so that there can be a little bit more feeding back of thoughts and ideas as I go along, as opposed to reading like an entire volume and then just trying to come up with a review after the fact. Let me know what you think of this. I'm going to try and do a couple more like this. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I think probably I will get better at it as I do more of them. This is literally the very first time I'm trying this. So we'll see how it goes. In any case, if you check this one out, I really appreciate it. If you've gotten it all the way here till the end, that's amazing, and that's really great of you. And don't forget to hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, yeah, do that, because I'm going to do a lot more of these types of manga review videos, as well as doing some gameplay stuff. Thanks so much for watching. I hope I'll see you in my next video. Till then, bye-bye for now.